10 bottles of glue wine if you want to come over and we'll warm it up.
Wow.
You're funny.
Well, I would love to be drinking, but I have to present and I don't want to, you know, stumble over my words, which I probably will anyway.
I have a nice bed here for you, Barbara.
Thank you. I don't like wine, but thanks. Hey,
That
I
wouldn't
heard
work
you all
very well with a
introduce
sharp
yourselves.
knife.
You all talked to Jackson. You know what? This is the first time that we're seeing Jackson's face because we were masked last time we saw you, Jackson.
Right.
So hi.
Hello.
Do you guys want to go around and just tell Jackson your name so maybe he'll have some idea who everyone is? I'll call you out the way you are on my screen, if that's okay.
Uh-oh, I'm not there.
Barb Paul, introduce yourself.
Hi, Jackson. I'm Barbara Paul. I met you when you came in and dropped off your application.
Yes,
so
that's
I was
right.
the
Yes,
person you talked to that day.
Yes, nice to meet you again.
Yeah, welcome.
Kathy, unmute yourself.
Hi, Jackson. I'm Kathy Roletter. I have an antique sock knitting machine, so the knitted socks and other items made on that machine are in the gallery. And I met you the other day too.
Yeah.
Welcome. I love your work. It's really cool.
Thank you.
Really
I appreciate that. Yeah, you got really good work too.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Sarah, your turn.
Okay, well, yeah, we met. And
yeah, that's right.
Set up.
How are you?
Everything, yeah. Yeah, oh, I want to tell you, I put a few of your pendants on brass rings and brought in some of that leather cording I had. So
thank you so much.
On that with that, and next time you come in to work, I'll bring some more in. You can switch some more.
Yes, this Saturday I went to Michael's and got some cording as well. I just didn't have the time.
Okay.
Thank you, though. I appreciate that.
That's our Sarah. Yeah, Natalie, your turn. Thank Natalie.
You. Hi, Jackson. I'm Natalie. I'm one of the jewelry makers.
Okay, nice to meet you, Natalie. I'm sure I've seen your stuff.
Anna, unmute.
Am I on mute?
No, hi, Anna was.
I think I met you at the gallery the other day too.
Yes, how are you?
Yeah, I saw your work up the other day. It was really cool.
Thank you. Yeah, I like yours as well.
Sally, your turn.
Hi, Jackson. I'm Sally, and I'm do glass and a little bit of acrylics.
Oh, nice.
And where do you live? Where do you live?
I'm Stanton.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah,
another Stantoner.
Yeah, I like glass work too. Glass work's awesome.
Thanks. I liked your work. It looks really nice.
Thank you.
Eve, your turn.
Eve?
Eve.
I'm Eve. Hi, Jackson.
Oh, nice to meet you.
Yeah, you too. I feel like we're art cousins because I like making stuff out of all bits and pieces, but they're usually paper and paint. I don't do very much.
Art's art. So. Yeah, that's where we're related.
I live in Crozet. So.
All right, awesome.
Nice to meet you.
Jilly, your turn. Jilly.
Hi, I'm Jilly. I'm a jewelry designer, and you should have got an email from me.
The W9 and the other one, the other form. Yes, I don't have a printer though, and I tried filling it out on my phone, and I was having difficulties. Is there a paper version I can get to Saturday?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, and my kind of guy.
I like to play with fire too.
Yeah,
I'm going in tomorrow, and I'll leave you a paper copy of the W9 in the.
Thank you.
What's the other form, Jilly? That ethics.
It was a code. Yes,
okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for mentioning that.
No, thank you. Guys.
Erin, your turn.
Hi, Jackson. I'm Erin. I really like your work.
Thank you. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. I am your neighbor in the gallery. I'm a photographer.
Yeah, oh yes, you got really badass pictures.
Oh, thanks. And I'm also probably your neighbor somewhere around here. I'm the other Stantoner.
Oh, hell yeah, sweet.
Ellen, your turn.
It's
We're
nice to meet you.
introducing ourselves to Jackson.
Hi, Jackson.
How are
I
you, Ellen?
met Jackson at the gallery when he came to apply, and talked to him about his work and so forth. So
Yes, that's right.
good to see you again.
It's good to see you too.
And it's really nice to see your work up.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Joanna, you're up next. We won't see you, but you can talk.
Hi there. Yeah, we had met. I was working the day you brought your stuff in. So I do the scarves, the natural dyes.
Yes,
so
yes.
It's good to have you here.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And Ladima?
Yes, can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay, well, I'm in the hospital with my mom this week.
Oh, no. I'm sorry to hear that.
So,
I'm sorry.
It's
How
all right.
nice of you to join us, though, Ladima. Thank you for joining us.
Well, thank you for having me under these circumstances.
Well, we're glad you could join. So everyone's introduced themselves to Jackson. So
I
let me
do
just...
the paintings.
Oh, sorry, Ladima. I didn't mean to cut you off.
That's
What's
all right.
that?
I do the paintings, the ones on the back wall and on the front wall, the ones that are way up high.
Okay. Yeah, that's
really
nice to meet you. And I hope everything's not too serious.
Jackson, we are going to quiz you in about 2 weeks about everything that everybody said.
Well, I should have got a notepad.
She's just
always have a notepad.
Hey,
yes, you're right. You're right.
Welcome to Sally's world. Sally always does that to people.
Okay, let's get on with it.
Everybody.
Yes, so first item of business, finances. We're holding our own because we got a couple of grants and some very generous donations. So October sales were great. They were better than last year in October.
Except for me.
November, I think we kind of fell off the cliff. So Etta is checking with Massanutten to see if something's going on there, because we get so much traffic from Massanutten, and maybe they don't have as many bookings as they had in October. But when we hear something about that, we'll let you know. Okay. Who's got noise in the background?
Ladima, turn off your mic until you want to say something.
How do I do that? Somebody has to tell me how.
I'll mute you.
There you go.
You did it.
You did it. Great.
So next item on the agenda is something really fun, and only Sarah Locke and Anna Stegmeyer could pull this off. OASIS is, oh my God. OASIS is sponsoring. Sorry, I was distracted. OASIS is sponsoring A Little Joy Downtown. Sarah and Anna are collaborating on a project, and I'll let them tell you about it. Sarah and Anna, unmute and tell everybody about it.
Let's see. Yeah, we met last Sunday, and I'd gotten a piece of plywood and cut, and Anna drew a big Santa Claus about 5 feet tall on the piece of plywood. And I took it home.
A little elf too.
Awesome.
Little elf, right? That's only about like 1.5 feet tall, and she drew it on there, and then I took it home and I used my jigsaw and cut all around the edges of it. And this afternoon I painted it white, and then we're going to meet Friday morning sometime, and she's going to start painting Santa, and then we'll have Santa Claus with the elf.
Cute.
And maybe a reindeer. I'm working on maybe a reindeer.
Well, leave some room for the art.
Yeah, but it'll be like somewhere on Court Square for kids and people to do selfies with.
Oh, great.
Take a picture.
And we really do need to have a sign that recognizes you two and that OASIS is sponsoring that.
Oh, thank you.
So,
yes.
Who can do something like that?
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I can probably do something.
Sarah, yeah.
But yeah, I was thinking we should do something about put a sign, you know, like Merry Christmas 2000 or something like that. So that would be in the picture.
What a good idea.
So we still have a little bit of time. We're going to try to have it up by Black Friday, the day after Thanksgiving. So, but
Anna, how about happy holidays?
Yeah, that's true.
That's better. Thank you, Elsa.
Yeah, that'd be good.
And just make sure you say 2020, not 2000.
Right. Well, I said, yeah, I guess that was probably.
Don't we all wish we were in 2000?
Yes, ma'am.
That was the end of the world.
Well, Anna probably wasn't even born then.
We survived 2001.
So I've seen.
You were just born, right, Anna?
I've seen pictures of what they're doing, and it's really spectacular. So thank you, you too.
Yay!
Thank you.
Yeah, Sarah did a really nice drawing, so we're using her talents.
And yours too, Miss Sarah. And yours too.
Could you and Anna let me know when you're going to be downtown? I'll come take some pictures for social media of you guys working.
Right.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know while they're painting it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anna, do you know what time Friday you want to work? You said Friday morning you could.
Yeah. Anytime Friday morning should work. So I just have to be done by like 3.
Okay. So when about 10 or so meet.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay, great.
By the way, I should point out that Sarah sent me, after she had finished cutting out the Santa Claus and the elf, her email was marked at like 1:30 in the morning. So she was working late on this. So thank you, Sarah.
Yes, she is, but Sarah is a night person.
I'm kind of a night.
6:30 is almost too late for me.
Yeah, me too. I see that Anne's joined us.
You go ahead.
Anne has joined us. Hi, Anne.
Yay!
Hi, Anne.
Before you joined us, we all introduced ourselves to Jackson. Do you see him on your screen?
No.
Oh, well, introduce yourself. He can see you.
Yes, I met him the other Saturday.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, we have on to our next thing. Customer interaction and how to, you know, in difficult situations, how to make a sale. So there are a couple of people who had ideas and or stories to tell, actual stories. So one of them is Barb Paul. You want to start?
I have even a news story to share too. So
oh, good.
So I am not a huge salesperson because when I am in a store, I sort of like to be left alone. So I greet people. I'm very nice. I tell them about OASIS and but then I sort of let them browse. And a few weeks ago, this younger man came in and announced that it was his 5th anniversary, and he wanted to get something in wood for the 5th anniversary. So he went immediately to the wood turner's shelves and started looking. And I expected him to pick up a bowl and, you know, come back up. And you could tell it just didn't fit what he was looking for. And so I sort of started brainstorming a little bit, and I stepped outside my comfort zone. And I said, you know, if you want to think about your wooden anniversary as something, you know, put a little twist on it. I said, not to sell myself, but I said, I do jewelry with trees on it, and trees would, you know, lend itself to wood. And he's like, oh, well, that's an idea. And then I started thinking some more. I checked Natalie's, and I said, Natalie has a tree necklace over here. And I said, and then Kathy, one of our potters, pots with leaves, and that's another little twist. And I started looking around, and I said, Barbara Camp does, she has a tree of life in stained glass. So that's another nod to wood without it actually being wood. And then I let him look, and he looked and looked and looked, and we talked about a couple different things. And then he looked at Natalie's stuff, and he picked up one of her petrified wood earrings, and he said, this is it. He said, this is what I want to get. I think this is perfect. And so I was like, oh, that's great, because it transfers into, you know, the wood's changed to stone because it stood the test of time, and, you know, da, da, da. And so he was all very excited and real pleased with what he had found. And so I was happy that I could sort of steer his looking in another direction, because I think he was just nothing against the wood turners. I just don't think it was what he wanted. So that was sort of fun for me. And then just the last time, 2 weeks ago when I worked, I heard a gaggle of young ladies right outside the door, and they were like, I don't really know what this is. I think it's an art store. You know, I could sort of hear them talking, and I was doing something at the desk, and it was quiet. It had been a quiet day. And I looked over and I waved my arm, and I said, oh, come in, come in. And these three young women came in, and I thought they were college age students, but it turned out they were high school students with some money to burn. And I sold 2 of Sarah's rings and 2 of my earrings to them, just because I got them to come in the store. And when they left, I heard one of them say to her friends, oh, I'm glad that we're spending our money at a local store. I feel that's what I would like to do. So that was sort of stepping outside my comfort zone to wave them into the store, but it worked.
Well done, Barb. That's great.
Awesome.
That is great.
Yay.
Thank
you. That proactiveness is what we all should strive for, not just sitting and waiting for the sale to come to us, for someone to bring something to the desk, but the proactive without being a pain in the butt, you know? So it's a fine...
It's a very delicate balance.
It is.
And you
now,
have
Ellen...
to sort of read that, right?
Right.
You have to read it.
Ellen, can you tell your story about being the personal shopper?
Oh, yes. I was his slave. And he was weird. But anyway, guy from obviously one of those, you know, people that went to Afghanistan to do, you know, private army shit, whatever. And he came back, cowboy hat, you know, and he just wanted a tour. He wanted to know about everything. And it was, luckily I could, you know, spend the time, but I took him up. He talked about here, he came down, he, you know, we talked about my work. We went over, you know, and anyway, he came back the next day and he bought even more stuff. So that was great.
Well, footnote, he totaled over $1,000 on his 2 visits.
Whoa.
He did a bunch with you that day, Ellen, and then when Kathy was there 2 days later, he came and bought a bunch more. So that was, yay.
Yeah, great.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
When he came in, he was really acting weird and babbling about his military service and sort of braggy, and he just really put me off. And my inclination was to just back way off, ignore him, you know, just sit in the corner. I didn't want to have anything to do with him. But like Barb, I thought, go outside your comfort zone a little bit. And as Barbara says, he started marching around the gallery and going, I'll take this and I'll take that and I'll take this and I'll take that. I couldn't keep up with him. And I thought for a few moments, oh my God, this guy's weird. His credit card, if he pulls one out, it's going to get rejected. The whole transaction was strange. But outwardly, I stayed calm and kind and respectful and gracious. It took a real effort. But like Barbara says, he spent a boatload of money. He spent over $1,000 that day when I was there.
He was a nice guy. He just had PTSD, I think, or something, or he'd been stuck in a tent in Afghanistan for too long, whatever. Yeah. He wanted company.
He had money and he wanted to spend it. And
yeah,
it's okay.
I know.
That's all great. I'm glad he spent money, but there's this little homeless guy that Barbara and I have dealt with. He's he likes to come in and he likes to look. And he's very, very, very dirty, right, Barbara?
He smells.
And I don't feel like we need to say, oh, you can't come in here. But he does smell, and you can tell his hands are dirty. But he came in with Barbara and I one day, and then he came in last week. The door was open, so of course he's going to come in. And he wandered around, and I asked him if he'd cleaned his hands, and he knew what I was saying, because sometimes you think they don't know what you're saying. I mean, because he seems like he's that unstable. But I showed him the squirt stuff, and I squirted his hands, and then he wandered around, and he just looked at everything really closely. He loved your stuff, Kathy. But I had to say several times as he comes in, and I think we have to be careful to not shoo him out. Just say, even though he's not spending money, he loves the art. And just say, don't touch. So I must have said 3 times while he was in there, don't touch. And he respected that. And then he nodded his head and he walked out. So, you're going to get those. And as long as you're not mean and aggressive, they're going to be, it's okay for him. You'll recognize him when he comes in. He loved the jacket that Ellen had brought at one of our shows, which was, I don't know, it looked like a coat of many colors. I think that's what you called it. And he stared at that thing for about 20 minutes. This was like the one time when it was Barbara and I. So I went up and talked to him about how pretty it was. Yeah.
So
he's not a bad guy. So as we're accepting people who are weird with PTSD, we also need to accept people who probably have PTSD but are not in the vet system. So if he comes in, just treat him kindly, because he's not a bad guy. And you can get some of the aggressive people, but that's off course, because we want to sell things, and he wasn't going to buy anything. But
well, that's okay.
But
does anybody?
I didn't offer him a cookie because I didn't want him to keep coming back for a cookie. So anyway, I'm off. I'm done.
Does anybody else have a story that they want to tell? That you stepped outside your comfort zone, or you did something different, or, it doesn't necessarily have to result in a sale, but it's something where you had a connection. Yeah, Kathy.
This is minor and sort of mundane, but when people come in and I make the effort to ask about them, where are you from? Have you been in before? Oh, you're staying at Massanutten. Where are you from? Oh, that's a cool town. I've been there before, blah, blah, blah. If you sort of show an interest in them, that's really good. And the other thing that I found is if I ask them if they have a specific quest or need, or, are you looking for a gift? Are you feeling like treating yourself? Just those conversational things. I've made a few sales that I think maybe I wouldn't have otherwise.
I'm sure.
Good thoughts.
There's a big difference with that attitude and sitting and reading a book at the desk. And
Right. Most of the time, if somebody's looking at the jewelry, I always either say, or actually, if they look for a while, I actually go over to the jewelry cabinet and stand there and say, "Oh, what can I get out for you?" That happened not too long ago with Natalie's work. The older couple was wandering around the gallery, and I'd talked to them before, you know, when they first came in, but kind of let them shop. And then when they got to her case, they were really looking at some of the things, and I went over and started explaining about her using recycled, a lot of recycled things, and about the paint that she uses to do.
That's a great story.
It is.
You know, I always start with that, and boy, it's just
the
awesome.
Cordite, yeah.
Yeah. People that the husband actually owned a Corvette. And so the wife said, "Well, you got your Corvette, I need a necklace." So she picked out one of the nice, you know, one of the, I got out every one that said it was from the Corvette factory. So if your necklaces were kind of askew the other day when you came in, it was because I pulled out everything. And she looked at all of them and picked out the color, the one that had the colors. Actually, the husband picked out the one he liked best, and she finally said, well, she liked that too. It was more of a subtle colors, not as bright. But you know, and that sale was directly because I went over and talked to them, and you know, made that connection with the car.
Jilly, what?
I think it's helpful too. The more we take the time to learn about each other's work, the better we can help customers find the right thing too.
Yes.
True. And sometimes it changes. So sometimes.
So right, Erin. So right.
Jilly wants to say something. Hold on. Let Jilly talk.
Yeah. I always ask people when they come in if they've been in before. Mm-hmm. And then if they say no, I always follow up, tell them a little bit about us, you know, what we are. And most people are intrigued by the fact that we're a co-op.
And been there 20 years. You know, the 20 years is a big seller.
Yeah, that is. And the fact that we don't have an owner or any paid staff.
Right.
So we all have to kick in and do our bit.
Yeah.
And that we're all from the Shenandoah Valley, except for two, one from West Virginia and one from Lynchburg. But that's what I say.
I just say all from the Shenandoah Valley.
Oh, I liked it. I liked it.
Oh, okay.
You can do what you want.
I always sell Natalie as our ultimate recycler.
There you go. There you go. Well, let me ask you, this is a little trick question now. If someone comes into the gallery and says, I'm interested in something with cats.
Anne, Barbara,
and
Sarah,
and
Barbara, Sarah,
and
Anna. Yes,
right.
And Natalie, I think she's done some cat things.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Natalie has done cats.
I've sold a couple of cat paintings.
Yes, Eve's got some cat stuff.
Right. There. So, I mean, yeah. Every day that you go into the gallery to work, you should go around and try to catalog what's there, you know?
Yeah. I had a customer who...
I following on from what we're talking about, I feel it's very important also to, the best you can, depending how busy you are, is be conscious of, you've just sold a painting, what about filling in that gap? You've just sorted through a bunch of jewelry, go back in the quiet moment and straighten it out. As well as what I was taught by our former temporary employee, first thing after you clean up and get started is go around and see what's in the gallery today. So you're freshly acquainted with what everybody's got.
Oh, Eve, you're taking over my my whole list of housekeeping stuff.
Well, go for it, babe.
I will. My turn, because I get to be the mean person.
Well, let's just see. Does anybody else have a story they want to tell? Go ahead.
I was just going to mention as a follow-up to what we were saying about understanding and knowing the features of each other's work. I had this guy come in this summer and I can't remember how, we got into a conversation about loving history. And I said, do you know, we've got a woodworker that uses wood for Montpelier and Madison's home and Jefferson's home. He was from out of town. He didn't even realize that those mansions were over in the Charlottesville area to go see. So we had that conversation. And he was just enthralled with the idea that that wood came from those estates. So that's just one more example of knowing something about somebody's work and being able to point it out.
That's great.
You know, Kathy, that's really great, because there are people who have been in the gallery for a long, long time that don't pay attention to that. And I do, and I think several of us do bring that up, that, and I also tell the story, which I'm not going to expand here, about how some of the wood from the tree that fell, the
Stonewall Jackson Prayer Tree.
Yes, the Jackson Prayer Tree, that we did the Wounded Warriors. Remember that about 6 years ago? We did, or maybe even more. 6 years ago, we did the Wounded Warriors, and everything that sold from that display at that time went to the Wounded Warriors Association to help. So, I mean, you know, we talk about Jackson now and everybody in the negative, but that tree was positive. You know, that whole episode that we did was a good thing. So that's good that you point that out, Kathy.
Maybe a Virginia history theme might be a good show theme one time.
Oh, what a good idea.
Good idea.
Wow. That's a great idea. Well, we have June open. So Ellen, you think about this. When we created the show schedule, June was set aside for the guitars. But it turns out that VMRC now has offered us July and August to show the guitars. So we are going to switch gears and show them first there in July and August. And then if there are any left, we'll bring them back to OASIS and put them in the window or something like that. So long way of saying we have June open and we could do that. If you want.
Yeah, a couple people might not know what VMRC is. It's the big retirement community north of town that has a big gallery area in their main floor. That is
Clark Gables. Clark Gables.
Park Gables, yeah.
Oh yes, Park Gables, not Clark.
Yeah.
Where was I thinking?
What was that about?
you know how you feel about Clark. Anyway.
Okay, shall we move on to some housekeeping issues?
No. Sarah needs to talk about the ladder.
Oh, yes, you're so right.
Okay. Yeah, we were talking about trying to make it easier, and I've been wanting to get one for a while. So we got a ladder that's in between the little 3-step ladder and the big 12-foot ladder that is like a 4-step ladder that has safety rails on both sides and like an arc thing on the top that you can hold on to. So especially for those paintings that are hanging up high, this should be everybody. I think it's tall enough for everybody. We're going to test it out with
I tested it today.
And how tall are you?
I am 5'2". So
well, I've been told that I'm 4 feet 10 and a half inches.
Okay, so you get to try it next. But
okay.
Most of you should be able to use it. It is a very sturdy, safe ladder to get the paintings up that are up high. If you are uncomfortable doing it, make the sale and then promise we will deliver the painting, and then immediately call someone who's not scared of getting up on the ladder or who is taller. And so that could be Kathy Roletter, it could be Sarah, it could be me, but we'll leave a list. And the main thing is to make the sale and then deal with getting the painting down if you're not comfortable doing it.
Yeah, sometimes.
And where is the ladder?
It's in the back by the door that goes down to the basement steps.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just a few blocks away. So if somebody calls me and I'm available, I'll come down. Happy to do it.
Yeah, sometimes the customer, if it's a guy or there's a husband and wife team, sometimes they're willing to get up there and get it too, although that might be what liability issues for us.
But that tall red ladder was so rickety that I'm so glad that we have a new one that it's sturdy and you can hold on to it. And,
well, you don't have to worry about swinging it around and knocking displays over while you're getting it out. So
yeah, it is a little bit heavier than the red one, I'll say. But
yeah, well, it's rated 500 pounds, so two of us could actually get up there on it, and
oh, what fun!
The painting down.
It's wonderful.
Bounce up and down. Can we get up there and bounce up and down?
Yeah, sure.
Up and down.
We can think of other things to do to have fun, Sally.
Yeah.
Well,
just saying.
Something like a trampoline underneath, and we jump off of it and bounce up and down.
All right.
Jesus.
And then we should sell tickets.
Yeah.
To watch it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, let's sell tickets.
Sally, I think the quarantine is getting to you.
Yeah, I think so too, Julie.
Really? More? No, it's the wine. Come on, kids. It's the wine.
Okay. Any questions on
I have the biggest thing to present.
Yeah, go for it.
Are you ready?
Fast.
Yeah.
There's nothing else. Oh, do it fast? Who said that?
Nobody.
Who said that? Yeah, you said that. All right, I'm going to be fast. All right, okay. I have the housekeeping duties, which, basically means that I have the hardcore, be a little bit of a bee kind of woman. So we've been having trouble with the well, I do like things to be done.
Yes.
So we've got this drift from someone else that the co-ops in other places are pretty strict with everything that needs to be done. And they don't allow people to do their own work at the desk. They don't allow people to be on their phone. They don't allow people to read books. They want interaction or people being out on the floor with the customer. So all of that being said, that's just something to remember. But within the first hour of opening, before you start working on your own space or your art, you need to do these things. And these things are, everybody needs to empty the garbage cans if needed and put the garbage out. The garbage is picked up Monday through Friday around 1 p.m. Now it's picked up earlier, but we're not there earlier. So around 1 p.m. it's open. So as you're the first hour, and we're still talking the first hour, you need to go around the gallery and look, straighten up art and displays, look for gaps and rearrange arts. Like you said, Barbara, you left me? Oh
no, I had to plug it.
Like you said, Eve, rearrange the art and fill in the places that are like negative space and take down the hooks and just make it look better. Now, these are things you have to do before you start doing your own thing. Because we're not telling you can't do your own thing. We just want you to do these things first. And that's the same aspect that you said, Eve. If you sell something, you need to go back at a slower time and rearrange that area and move things over and make it look better, okay? So then we talk about the jewelry cases. You know, the jewelry cases, things don't always stay straight. So you need to go around the jewelry cases. And if there's things that are like a couple times, Jilly has had a necklace that's gone off to the left, and I straighten it up to the middle and that kind of stuff, and make sure your spaces look good, because somebody might have sold something the day before and not have time to fix it. But then also another thing about that is that if you sell things, which is great, you need to fill the space like we talked about. But Sarah has made a place where all of those people who have the bust that they put their necklaces on, that we can put in, and it's behind the red curtain, that behind Sarah's thing, the red curtain. But make sure that all of you jewelry people have your initials on the bottom so we know who's who. But please don't put them on the floor. Try to be gentle with them and don't abuse them, like throw them across the gallery or rip things up. But try to do that, and that will make things better. Natalie, you're laughing. All right, here we are. Oh, okay. So this is the big thing. I think when COVID came on and we did the COVID, Barbara, are you
Yes,
laughing?
ma'am.
When we did the COVID checklist, like the COVID checklist, everybody forgot about the daily checklist. You know, that daily checklist that talks about you need to do this on Monday, you need to do this Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You need to still look at that, and you still need to do those things. And people haven't been. There's been a whole lot of not cleaning up the space that needs to be cleaned up. So please look at that, take care of it, and do what you need to do. Natalie, don't do that.
Natalie's got the giggles.
Straight here, Natalie.
I did have a request, Sally, about that, because
I read my list really good here, and I've had a couple of glasses of wine, and Jackson smoking cigarettes, and Kathy's drinking her red wine, and you all are laughing at me. But anyway, so this is, remember, I had the hard job.
Okay, Barbara, what were you going to say?
Oh, here we go. We're talking daily.
Barb Paul had something to say.
I had something,
Sally, hold on.
Sally. So I had a request. I wrote it in the book about the trash, because we only work 2 days a month, and so like I don't work again until the 18th. And I felt really bad because on the day the other week when it was my week to work, I didn't check the garbage soon enough, and there were a couple of bags to put out. So I left a note for Brenda to do it. When I talked to her, I reminded Brenda, because the trash isn't always there, if you leave trash for the next docent, can you just leave a little note on the square that says there's trash at the door?
Good idea.
Because sometimes you're running around doing the money and the other things to get the morning set up, and I just forgot to walk back there till it was too late. I was afraid to set it out.
So you said on the square, what is that about?
Just like if you leave a sticky note on the counter, like, you know, on the square.
Okay.
That just
so
says.
We've got that notebook. Isn't that our communication?
Not everybody looks in there.
Okay.
Especially first thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Interestingly enough, what I forgot to say when I started this conversation is no conversation before I was done. So you're right. I mean, really. I mean, I agree with you, Barb Paul, that it's not always, but what I'm trying to remind you is within that first 2 hours, 11 to 1, there can be a garbage check unless there's like people standing outside the door, like let me in, you know, and then that's a forgivable thing, but that should just be one of the daily checks. You know, and we can all forget, and that's good that you left that for Brenda, because that's another form that we wanted to talk about, communication. We've been having some trouble with some inability for people to communicate with something that's very important for the next day docent, or at least for the group docents. So let's say something was put on hold, like set back off of a display because somebody thought they might want to come and get it in like 2 or 3 days, and so it's put back somewhere, but they fail to tell either the artist or the next day docent that these things are happening, and that's where that is, and this person is going to come in on Tuesday and purchase this thing. These communications need to happen. And, you know, and I know a lot of you do this, and unfortunately what happens is a lot of people who aren't here, you know, I see there's a couple knitters in the group, but a lot of people that aren't here are, they don't communicate. Everybody needs to communicate either as a group or personally, because a lot of different things can come out about, oh, I'm missing an item, and phone calls to the wrong people and just things like that. So please communicate either in the communication book or personally with the person that it involves. So that was, you're right, that's a communication thing is very important. I'm trying to be fast because somebody told me to be fast. Okay, another thing is when you get into the green, and Jackson, I know you don't know a lot of this and you will learn it. When you get into the green bag to carry out cash like $20 and switch it for 5s and 10s or 1s or whatever, you have to let Etta know that you've done that, because Etta is the person that comes in and with the change, she's the person that refills that thing. And if she doesn't know that people have taken every single 1s and everything single 5s, and all that's in there is 20s or a 50, then we're up a creek. And I'm not going to call it that creek that starts with an S. We're up a creek, and she needs to know this so she can make the right change. So we always have change. Okay. So that's that one. See, I'm being the mean person. And then here we are. And I've already sent this out to everybody to clean up their inventories, right? And some of you people who have short inventories or same kind of inventories, like all the socks, I'm talking about you, Kathy, they're, you know, so you have like 20 items in your inventory. But some people, believe it or not, have 400 items in their inventory, or 300 items in their inventory because they haven't cleaned it up for a year. So I'm reminding you to make checkout easier to clean up your inventory. And what's the other? Oh, so now we're going to talk Santa's attic. Barbara, you have something you want to say about Santa's attic before I get into that? Did you fall asleep, Barbara? Barbara. Oh, she fell
Barbara
asleep.
Camp or Barbara
Do
Paul?
you or Sarah have anything you want to say about Santa's attic?
Nope.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You go ahead.
I call Barbara Paul Barb and you Barbara.
Okay.
Who? Barbara, Paul, do you have anything you want to say about Santa's attic?
I don't think so. I didn't really know I was in charge of it, but I mean, heading it up or anything.
I'm in charge of it. I'm in charge of it.
Oh, good. I don't have anything to say. Just trying to get things ready for the window. And yeah, I don't have anything to say.
Okay, thanks. Barbara Camp.
I don't have it. I think you're going to say everything. So why don't you do that and we'll try.
I'm tired of me saying things. Okay. So I'm going to put up Santa's attic, and Sarah's got a lot going the day after Thanksgiving, but she's going to have the little entrance ready by that day or that night. And I'm going to put up Santa's attic, and we're going to put it in the mezzanine, as I think all of you know, which will give us more space and less problem with social distancing. So I don't think, as I think we've talked about, you don't need to have the little tickets and the time thing to get up there. We're just gonna have somebody, and I think Eve, you're gonna come on that Saturday, the first day of the Saturday after Black Friday.
That's right.
Which is Small Business Saturday. You and your husband are coming, and you're going to be up there doing things, right? Correct?
He's going to be the elf. He's going to be amusing. And he thought he was going to help with, you know, traffic control, and maybe he can be useful that way. And I'm just going to be.
Oh, yeah. I think it's great. I think that's great. We do need traffic control, I think, right. But we just don't need.
And I'm going to be an extra pair of hands floating around. We getting his outfit together. He's quite something. And then people.
That's great.
He likes to joke around, and they can take pictures and add to the merriment.
So Paul, do you want to do any social media postings with pictures of Ian in his elf costume?
That would be lovely, Eve, if you have any pictures to send.
But I'll see what I can do. I can certainly make a try for Head and Shoulders with his ridiculous hat.
Yeah.
And I think it'll be hard to catch the ridiculous shoes, but we'll see. Yeah, we'll do what we can.
And I will say I'm having a terrible time with my computer, and social posting is very difficult for me right now. So I'm doing the best I can. But it's a bad time for my computer to have sort of died on me. But I'm limping along right now with it.
Okay, another thing is that, remember how in the past, some of you who have been there for a while, that we were doing this crazy pricing so that a child could come with $20 and that would be all they needed? Well, we've done away with that, and we're going to just price things regularly. Like if I have something that's $20, I put $20 on it. When they get downstairs, whoever will pay $20 plus the tax. So those of you who know that we've done this in the past understand what I'm saying. But what I'm just saying is just price your stuff like you would price it if you were putting it in square. And I'm going to, I've sent this out, and I will continue to send it out. I'm just going to send it out to those people who I know that are interested in it. And it's how you put it in square so that it ends up being at the top of your listings and not somewhere all nilly-willy in the rest of your listing. So it's going to be at the top. So I'm not going to talk about that tonight. But anyway. Remember, everything has to be priced and in the square, or it is not gonna be put out. Okay, is that all right with everybody?
Yep.
Good idea.
And folks.
Barbara spent hours last year doing pricing and square entry, and we're not going to do that this year. I'm done. Was I nasty enough?
Does anybody have any questions about anything that Sally said?
They probably have 100 questions. What did she say?
I was just wondering that very thing.
Sally, do you have a list of people who said they wanted to be in Santa's attic? Sally, do you have that list?
I do. I do have it. I have it right in front of me. And most everybody that you sent me that said they wanted to be on it are actually here in front of me.
Yeah.
I'd like to put some stuff in there too.
Meeting. So,
Sally, did you hear Jack said he'd like to be in there too?
I did hear Jackson. So Jackson, what I'll do to you, not do for you tomorrow, is I'll send you kind of a little heads up of what Santa's attic is all about. Okay.
Thank you.
And about the pricing and all that stuff. Okay.
Perfect.
All right. I do have one question about Santa's attic. So so I do those Christmas ornaments, and if I have some of those upstairs and some of those downstairs, do you want the ones that are in Santa's attic priced for Santa's attic so you know they sold from up there? Versus
a really good question. The pricing isn't different.
I know Sarah's shaking her head and Barbara's saying something, but I'm going to say this. At the beginning, Barbara said that she would like to know, Barbara Camp, that is, would like to know what has been sold from Santa's attic. So that was what we were thinking about, the price differencing, you know, the number differencing. But Barbara, what do you think? Barbara Camp, what do you think?
I would like that if it isn't too much of a problem.
That's fine. I just didn't want all my ornaments in one place or the other. So I'll sort of be curious to see where they sell better out of.
Yeah, actually, that's a good, you know, what are we putting first? Hashtag, is that what you decided, Sally?
Yes, I think it's hashtag, but yes. And, which I call the pound sign because I'm old. So before there was even a thing called hashtag, it's a pound sign and then your number. And I have already put a couple things in my space. And so if you want to look at how I did that to make it go up to the top, but when I send the email out again, I will go over that again.
Thank you.
You know, because it's like what is it, like 8:30? I'm ready for bed.
Okay, stop talking.
No, it's only
those are
7:30.
things that are better to see in writing than.
I agree.
Yeah.
I'm gonna send it in writing. In a 2-glass wine, girl. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. We wanted to end the meeting on a positive note. I'm sure you guys don't know who Pierce McGill is, but he is in charge, the head of the economic development part of Harrisonburg City. He loves OASIS. When we got the last grant from him, he said he was so pleased that the city could help keep OASIS going. But not only that, he came in, Ellen, came in when.
Yeah.
And
he introduced himself.
And he told you about another upcoming grant opportunity that the city had. I just think that it just made me feel so good to hear that people are watching out for us, you know, the city's watching out for us, HDR's watching out for us. And now let's do our part. I mean, we have been, you know, but anyway, doesn't that make you feel good that people are looking out for us and doing what they can to help us? So
And are we going to eventually think of a gesture to thank those particularly helpful people?
Well, HDR asked me to make a recording, which I did do for them. Joanna is designing an ad for us to put in the Daily News Record, thanking people. And then I thanked Pierce McGill for looking out for us. I mean, you know, you have to be a little bit tactful since he's a city employee, but.
Well, maybe when we can mingle a little more, we can have a little reception or something.
That would be nice to thank the people who are helping us. You know, a lot behind the scenes, but anyway.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else have anything they want to share or
talk
about?
I have a question or two. I haven't been able to get into Square from my desktop for almost all week. I don't know why. It just keeps saying, oh, something went wrong on our part.
Reboot your computer.
Huh?
Reboot your computer.
Well, it just did update, but I can try that.
I mean, I check sales every night, so it's been working for me.
Yeah.
Anybody else having a problem?
No problem.
No.
Okay. And the other thing is, what is the deadline for submitting our guitars?
That's a good question. I'm thinking probably May. Probably
end of May?
Yeah.
End of May? Okay.
I think so, but I'm meeting with the VMRC person tomorrow, so I'll have the full details from her.
Okay, and how about the deadline for Santa's Attic?
We've got to keep it around till that long?
No, I mean, we can start collecting them. If you're done, we can have them at OASIS upstairs in the office or something.
Oh, okay. Great. Wonderful.
Well, I understand that because we did have a confusion about when things were going to be due and not due. And some people, although I'm not sure any of us have started, except Natalie, who took 12, have started working on
well, I have
their guitars.
Ellen started working. By the way, I will send out in the next week or so, the Yamaha fellow with whom we've been working passed along a video of a school, I think in California, that's doing the same thing we are. And it's got lots of cool ideas of how they're.
Yeah, I'd love to see that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that'd be
awesome. Sarah
awesome.
went on Pinterest and found a bunch too. So
on the subject of guitars, I'm curious if people think they're going to use the cases that come with the guitars, or I hope they aren't going to get chucked out. Because
oh no, we're not throwing them away. Sarah mentioned something about giving them actually to the schools or something.
No, to the music teachers.
Yeah, but shouldn't you? I mean, if you do your piece of art, put it in the case and bring it in so it's protected and
yeah, but after that, when it's hanging on the wall.
Yeah. Why doesn't it go with the purchaser?
Well, because they probably are going to throw it out. That's why.
You're talking about the cardboard?
No, I'm talking about the fitted case.
There are some fitted cases. There's probably about 10 fitted cases.
Well, Sarah, unmute.
None of my repurposed pieces are going to fit in a guitar case when I'm finished with them.
Yeah,
so I will bring the cases back to be donated.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Well, that's great.
Repurpose the guitar case for one of my projects.
Oh, cool.
Great.
Yeah. Actually, adding on to the guitar thing, I've been doing my guitar in the wood shop at Duke Hall. And the professor there that's been helping me and my friend with it, he's trying to get in people from the school to do an article on it. So I thought that would be good for just advertisement too.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Anna, could I just interject and ask you to tell people what you have done vis-a-vis Duke Hall? everybody know Duke Hall is at JMU, and it's the big art gallery there. So Anna, go.
Yeah. So basically I reached out to like the directors there and I just asked them if we could like advertise OASIS. So I went on to like a app or something, and I made like a poster or like something just to like get out OASIS's name and like what kind of student opportunities we offer. And I hung them up all over Duke Hall, and then I also sent them out to be like, they sent out an email distribution with the poster, and they're also probably going to do an article on it as well.
Nice.
Great.
Thank you, Anna. That's wonderful.
You're welcome.
Yay.
Yeah, yeah. That's great.
We ought to start thinking in the future, especially when we can mingle some more, of special programs or events or features that are going to be really appealing to that new crowd that Anna's getting to us, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
Date night is one thing that stayed in my mind from chatting to customers a couple of years ago.
The director there like really likes OASIS, so she was very helpful.
Great.
Thank you, Anna.
Yeah, of course.
We're over an hour. Does anybody have anything they want to say?
Well, I did, but it kind of got left out about elections. I was going to bring it up earlier. I think I was supposed to be on the list, Sally.
Yes, you were.
And because I was going to throw it out when more people were here. I was going to ask for elections to be, or for people to be, throw out names at the meeting of people for the board. Same people keep doing it over and over and over. And that's not exactly fair. Jackson, you're exempt because you're so new. This year.
Yeah, safe this year. What is that, board?
Board members.
Oh, okay.
Anna has probably been around long enough to think about it. But if you're not on the board, you might run the risk of being drafted. You don't throw out a name or volunteer. And that's all I'm going to say about that tonight.
Well, thank you. And
you can email me.
Thanks. Sarah, did you want to say something?
Oh, just Barbara and I'm not sure who else is supposed to be rotating off the board now, but we're still.
Yeah, and they can't do that if nobody is nominated.
We'll see. We have, I think we've, there's some people that be willing to do that, and we'll be talking to people individually and keeping Jilly and keeping us in the loop of things. So if anybody has any suggestions or wants to volunteer or nominate somebody else, just talk to Jilly about it and she'll get back to the rest of us.
Yep. There are some people that could be drafted.
Wow. Anybody else have something they want to say?
Well, I think that if you're going to be drafted, if you're going to be on the board, you have to be able to commit to the time, the work, the extra hours that's involved in being on the board. So getting someone that doesn't want to be even on the board is not an option for me, but that's my thoughts.
I have a question about that, following on from Ellen. Aren't we required to have a certain number? Do we have bylaws and stuff?
We do, and it's in the procedures manual, and that's online in the internal files or
okay,
at the
but
gallery.
Just for while we stay on this topic, though, are we not required to have a certain number of board
Yeah, but
members?
I don't remember what the number is, and that's why.
Right, but we can find out. But what I'm saying,
I think it's 5.
In terms of what Ellen said, there's a couple of levels of having a board. One is we need people to get the work done, but another is we have to fulfill that legal requirement. So we all are working hard, and none of us have time, and blah blah blah. But it sounds like to me we at least need some bodies to agree to be board members, even if they don't think they can become Barbara or Sarah, because who can replace them? See what I'm saying?
Has the time to develop. Well, and we have had new board members recently. Jilly and Aaron have stepped up, and they're on the board now, and you know, helping us out with a lot of things. So it seems like with OASIS, a lot of time the board is also a lot of the members that do a lot of the work. And we're trying to get away from that as much as possible, and trying to engage all the members in doing, you know, a little bit, so that a few of us don't have to do a lot.
Right. So what I'm asking is, isn't it true that we need people on the board, but even people who feel that their ability to contribute is a little bit less, there might still be room for them?
Right. Everybody needs and has a job. So
yeah,
you know, we all need to contribute what we can.
Yeah.
All right.
Else have anything else?
Just.
Well, shall we say good night, and thank you guys for participating, and we're gonna go into the holiday season strong, huh?
That's right.
Yes, we are.
Yay.
Winking out now.
Thanks, everybody.
All right.
Appreciate it. Bye.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us.